Yeah, that was good too. Sorry. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Right. My name is Eric Hunter Sr. I am. My name is
Yeah, speak up because I don't have a mic on
okay. My name is Eric Hunter Sr. I'm a native resident of Richmond, Virginia, born and raised. Um, I am a self-employed businessman, and I still serve in the community in different capacities.
you. And you said you were a veteran,
Right. I'm a United States Navy veteran,
and then you
and I
moved to.
serve in my church, the Metropolitan African American Baptist Church, on the diaconate ministry. Um,
And then what was your reason for moving to Southside?
well, the reason I moved to Southside was, for number one, it was in the city, and I wanted to remain in the city. I built my house from the ground, so it was a new subdivision. I had looked at several subdivisions, and years ago, I would say when I was probably around 17, I mistakenly got lost and ended up riding down Terminal, which took me to Jefferson Davis. And for some reason, when I found that the house, the subdivision was on Terminal, it was like, you know, excuse my expression, but God had showed me my house and where I'm supposed to be. And that's what brought me over Southside. I mean, it was a different place. Southside always been kind of like an island, from the mainland. And I thought it was pretty interesting to live over here, and I've enjoyed it all. I mean, I've never moved from over here since I've been here, and so yeah, this is home.
And then, so you were saying that you had gotten involved with the Civic Association there,
Right,
and then that led to your involvement with the Broad Rock Neighborhood Team.
right, which I subsequently became the chair, and at that point, following the community's vision, but also being able to, add a few of my visions along with that on the direction of our community and addressing some of the needs of our community. Most importantly, during that period, we were deliberating about bringing a community center into Southside. We didn't have one, a real good functional community center. Just little small little centers that kids can come and walk up to, and they open up a garage door looking window and service kids like that in Southside. So there were several options. Either we could have went with one of the council persons.
Anthony Jones or Gwen Hedgepeth?
Gwen Hedgepeth. She had put in a proposal to build a nice community center and play park over at the Broad Rock Park. But one of the things about that is that it was already an existing park that was functional and being used by residents. And what we wanted more so was a center that we could address the arts as well. Also, where programming was needed, we could contract with nonprofits, and that would in turn bring revenue into the building that it could really be self-sustainable. So one of the members of the Broad Rock team was a alumni of Hickory Hill Community Center and at Hickory Hill High School, and we had a discussion about that, possibly locating the building, the community center in the building. But of course, the building was boarded up and dilapidated, and we wasn't sure what we would have took to bring it back, or whether we could acquire the funding. So that started the process of the acquisition of Hickory Hill. Which from there we formed the Hickory Hill Preservation Committee, which was a subcommittee of the Broad Rock team, which was chaired by one of the members, Geneva Austin. She chaired it, and several of the executive committee was membership. Through that committee, we met and we did the work of meeting with council to acquire the funding. You know, you had to get permits and all things like that. We had to get money for, you know, even after we acquired the building, you know, the design.
Architect Kelson Eastland.
We had to get an architect to draw it out for us. And even once we got the acquisition of the building, we had the architect to do the drawings. We even contracted with community contractors to do most of the work in the building. And so,
would you happen to recall who those may have been?
I would have to get back with you on that.
Okay.
I know my company was one of them that was able to get the demolition contract. So that was a blessing. Also, but beyond that, as the construction was going on, the Preservation Committee still met to deal with programming. Now the program was based on mostly the needs of the surrounding associations or community. It wasn't a high crime area, or it isn't a high crime area that we live in, and but at the same time, there was no facility that was nearby that our children can go to and be safe, or that we felt comfortable enough, you know, allowing them the freedom to go and recreate. So we gathered and we made plans and we had ideas of what we wanted to see in the building. And then we had to figure out which department of the city would be most beneficial to manage the building, along with an advisory group from the committee to deal with programming. The Department of Human Services was number one on the list, because not only did they have a idea for, you know, programming, but they had budget outlines for funding the building. But you know, that took a turn as we dealt with Parks and Recreation, because you know their staff, staffing the building with recreation staff was the best alternative, because we hadn't established an ongoing community presence in the building where we could do volunteers to, you know, watch over the different opportunities that, you know, we brought forth in the building. So we selected a partnership with Department of Parks and Recreation, and you know that went well. You know, we furnished the building, we staffed the building, and the community began access and use of the building. Annually, we used to do a Christmas program. One time we did a play. All the associations that surrounded the community were able to use it, you know, once a month to have their association meetings. Safe place, you know, and it was it assisted the communities to stay active. You know, parents could bring their kids to recreate and play while they were meeting, and then you had staff that could ensure their safety. And so that went on for a while, and we enjoyed it. And you know, several times we had festivals on the lawn that brought out the entire community.
And let me ask, do you remember, were any of those festivals publicized? I went back and looked at some newspaper articles, and I haven't been able to find any. I have some old pictures from a couple, but I know there were a number of them.
But we always did flyers,
Mm-hmm.
and basically the flyers were distributed at the team meeting where all of the association gathered, and the responsibility to disseminate them were on the presidents of the association. Back during that time, social media really wasn't as prevalent, nor was the use of the digital mediums to spread the word. More so email, if anything.
Or print media.
Right. So access to folks wasn't as easy as it is now. But yeah, that's how we pretty much got the information out, through the team process and meeting with the teams and asking the presidents to share information with their associations. No website did we have during that time. And really, probably would have been great if we had funding to do administration for, the community side of things, but we trusted the city to do the right thing, and to honor their commitment and the handshake relationship that we had.
Though there was a memorandum of agreement or some
Right.
guiding document once the resolution had gone through,
Right.
in terms of relationship or partnership between the community and the staff. I
Right.
do recall that. Do you recall also?
Yeah, I do recall it, and I believe that I submitted it during the time that we were dealing with the fire department over here. So I think I can access that document. But yeah, all of that's outlined. And the community led the way. The city, because the staff wasn't involved at first. It was council that was, the main driving force for us to acquire the building, because the mayor was in charge of staff during that time. We didn't have a strong mayor. So working through council and the mayor's office, and I guess the good part about it is that the mayor was out of the 8th district. And so
Was he?
Chavis.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know
So we were fortunate in that aspect of things. So yeah, then once we got with the city, once we brought them in as partners, then as time passed and the years went on, we as a team, the team was disbanded, but the preservation committee was disbanded after the facility was up and running. But we were supposed to form an advisory committee that would focus solely on the preservation of Hickory Hill and the preservation of Hickory Hill, and to ensure that the community center was being utilized in accordance with what we had asked to be in there. I need to pause.